Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. Tonight we're diving headfirst into the fascinating, if slightly dusty, world of international communication policy. Don't touch that dial, things are about to get wild. Now, back in the groovy 1970s, UNESCO, bless their well-intentioned souls, decided to tackle a problem that, frankly, still dogs us today: the unequal flow of information around the world. They wanted to understand why some voices seemed to boom across the globe, while others were barely a whisper. So they created the International Commission for the Study of Communication Problems, better known as the MacBride Commission, named after its chairman, the esteemed Sean McBride. Their mission? To boldly go where no commission had gone before and figure out how to make the global media landscape a little less, well, let's just say, imbalanced. Now you might be thinking, John, why is this even a big deal? Why should we care about who has access to information and who doesn't? Can't we all just watch cat videos in peace? Isn't the internet supposed to be a place where we can escape from the harsh realities of life and just enjoy some lighthearted content? And to that I say, you clearly haven't seen the size of the hairball I had to clean up this morning. But jokes aside, there's a much deeper issue at play here. The point is, access to information isn't just about cute animals, though I'm not saying it shouldn't be. It's about the fundamental right to knowledge and the power that comes with it. It's about power. The power to make informed decisions, the power to participate in society, and the power to shape one's own destiny. See, back then, the flow of information was like a one-way street, with news and entertainment largely originating in wealthy Western nations and radiating outwards. These nations had the resources to produce and distribute content on a massive scale. Developing countries, meanwhile, were stuck on the receiving end, often bombarded with content that didn't reflect their cultures, values, or even their realities. They were passive consumers in a world where they had little say. This imbalance, my friends, wasn't just annoying, it was downright dangerous. It created a world where a few powerful entities could control the narrative. It meant that a handful of powerful voices got to shape the global narrative, influencing everything from political opinions to consumer choices. This kind of control can lead to manipulation and misinformation on a grand scale. And let's be honest, folks, when has a small group having all the power ever ended well? Spoiler alert, never. History is full of examples where concentrated power led to oppression and conflict. But here's the silver lining. The digital age has the potential to change all of this. With the advent of the internet and mobile technology, information can flow more freely than ever before. People from all corners of the globe can now share their stories, their perspectives, and their knowledge. This democratization of information is a powerful tool for social change. However, we must remain vigilant. The digital divide still exists, and many people around the world still lack access to the internet and the wealth of information it holds. Bridging this gap is crucial for ensuring that everyone has the opportunity to participate in the global conversation. It's not just about technology, it's about equity and justice. So the next time you watch a funny cat video, remember that the internet is more than just a source of entertainment. It's a powerful platform for change, and we all have a role to play in making sure it's accessible to everyone. One of the McBride Report's biggest targets? Media monopolies. These monopolies have long been a contentious issue, with a few powerful entities controlling the majority of the information flow. This concentration of media ownership has significant implications for democracy, public opinion, and the diversity of viewpoints available to the public. These behemoths, often controlled by a select few, were like the gatekeepers of information, deciding what got through and what got squashed. They had the power to shape narratives, influence public opinion, and even sway political outcomes. The McBride Report highlighted how this concentration of power could lead to a homogenized media landscape, where only certain voices and perspectives were amplified, while others were marginalized or silenced. Think of them as the bouncers of the global media club, only instead of deciding who got to dance, they decided who got to be heard. This gatekeeping role meant that smaller independent media outlets often struggled to gain a foothold. They were like the people standing outside the club, hoping to get in, but constantly being turned away. This not only stifled competition but also limited the diversity of content available to the public. The report argued that these monopolies stifled competition, limited diversity of opinion, and made it incredibly difficult for smaller independent media outlets to thrive. Independent journalists and smaller media organizations often found themselves overshadowed by the sheer size and influence of these media giants. This lack of diversity in media ownership meant that the public was often presented with a narrow range of viewpoints, which could lead to a less informed and less engaged citizenry. It was like trying to grow a delicate orchid in the middle of a monster truck rally. The environment was harsh and unforgiving, and the odds were stacked against the smaller players. The McBride Report emphasized the need for a more level playing field, where independent media could flourish and contribute to a richer, more diverse media landscape. The solution? The MacBride Commission advocated for greater media pluralism, which basically means ensuring a wider range of voices and perspectives are represented in the media landscape. This would involve policies and regulations designed to break up media monopolies and encourage the growth of independent media. By promoting media pluralism, the goal was to create a more vibrant and dynamic media environment where different viewpoints could coexist and be heard. Think of it like a well-balanced breakfast, but instead of fiber and protein, it's news and entertainment from different sources, representing different viewpoints. Just as a balanced diet is essential for physical health, a balanced media diet is crucial for a healthy democracy. By consuming news from a variety of sources, individuals can gain a more comprehensive understanding of the world around them, make more informed decisions, and participate more fully in the democratic process. The McBride Report's call for media pluralism was a call for a healthier, more inclusive media ecosystem. Section 4, a kaleidoscope, not a monoculture promoting cultural diversity. Now, the McBride Report didn't just want to break up media monopolies. It wanted to inject some much-needed cultural diversity into the global media ecosystem. Because let's be honest, folks, the world is a far more interesting place than what you see on your average Hollywood blockbuster. The report argued that everyone should have the right to see their own cultures, languages, and values reflected in the media they consume. This wasn't about some touchy-feely kumbaya notion of cultural sensitivity, though that's nice too. It was about ensuring that everyone had the opportunity to tell their own stories on their own terms, without being filtered through someone else's lens. Section 5. The right to speak, the right to be heard. At its core, the McBride Report was about more than just media policy. It was about fundamental human rights. It sought to address the imbalances in global communication and aimed to create a more equitable world where everyone had a voice. The report emphasized that communication is a cornerstone of human interaction and societal development. Without the ability to communicate, individuals and communities are left isolated, unable to share their stories, ideas, and perspectives. The report boldly declared that communication wasn't just a privilege reserved for the powerful and well-connected. It was a basic human right, right up there with life, liberty, and the pursuit of the perfect cup of coffee. This declaration was revolutionary at the time, challenging the status quo and pushing for a world where everyone, regardless of their background or status, could have their voices heard. It was a call to action for governments, organizations, and individuals to recognize and uphold this right. Now, this wasn't just some idealistic notion dreamt up by a bunch of academics in a smoke-filled room. Though knowing academics, there was probably some smoke involved. The ideas presented in the McBride Report were grounded in real-world challenges and sought practical solutions to bridge the communication divide. The report was a product of extensive research, discussions, and debates involving experts from various fields who understood the complexities of global communication. The report argued that access to information and the ability to communicate freely were essential for individuals to participate fully in society, hold their leaders accountable, and exercise their democratic rights. It highlighted the importance of a free and independent media, the need for diverse voices in the public sphere, and the role of technology in facilitating communication. By ensuring that everyone had access to information and the means to express themselves, the report envisioned a more just and democratic world. In other words, it was about giving people the tools they needed to make informed decisions and shape their own destinies. The McBride Report was not just a document, it was a vision for a better future, where communication empowered individuals and communities. It called for a global effort to break down barriers, promote understanding, and ensure that every person had the right to speak and be heard. This vision remains as relevant today as it was when the report was first published, reminding us of the ongoing struggle for communication rights in our ever-evolving world.